I had a number of requests for how to remove distractions when you're shooting flowers, including flowers that had damaged parts or holes, or perhaps ones that were shot in water and there's a lot of distracting things. So we're going to go through just a handful of those. I have a couple of my own, and I borrowed a couple from my wife as well. So take a look at this image here. You have a beautiful rose. Not a rose here. Where's the lotus flower? Is that a lotus? It's a pretty flower is what that is right there. But you also have a bunch of distracting junk in here as well. So first thing I would try to do is get rid of this one in the background. This is kind of Let's see if a big brush will get rid of it. Yeah, that's not too bad, really. This whole thing needs to go. Because really what this is about is simplifying the scene. And I'd really like to get rid of that junk right behind there. Now, to get rid of that, it's going to be a little sticky. Let's try a smaller brush and see how much we can get rid of on our own without messing with the flower. Well, we're pretty close. But at this point, I think we're going to have to get in here and select this. Let's get the quick selection tool. See if we can select in here and over here and over here. So we have that area pretty well selected, and maybe a little bigger area, and so we can get rid of that. So now let's go in here, see if we can get rid of that area. Whoop, it just repeated the flower. Not good. So we're going to use the rubber stamp tool. We're going to come right in here with this blue and paint right in here. Now we need to get our softness down to, our hardness down to 0. So we have a nice soft edge, easy to blend brush. There we go. We can follow that in here. Take some of this blue over here. And what happened was my cursor got too close to the brush. You know, you've seen that happen. And kind of get rid of all that stuff back there. That was pretty distracting back behind the flower. Now, while we were in on this flower, you can see that some of these petals are a little messed up. So this is how we fix them. Go over here and pick up a nice petal that looks pretty good, like maybe that one right there. Just that one. We don't need all this. Get a nice selected area, put it up on its own level. Now all you need is that one part, not all this other junk. So let's just erase that. Literally at this point you can grab the eraser tool, which we haven't used at all, and just go get rid of this junk. What is this stuff doing in there? I just want the end of that one flower. Let's make sure that's all gone. Come over here, rotate it into position, like so, and then you're going to have to get rid of this excess. So go to the layer mask. The mask is in white. We're going to paint in black with a very small brush. A very small soft edge brush. We're going to paint away that little edge there, this little edge here. I need a smaller brush because I keep accidentally painting into the little hole we're trying to cover up. Now, it's a little darker, so click on the actual, not the mask, but click on the thumbnail. Let's go to levels, and let's make that mid-tone a little bit brighter here to where it matches right there. Is that it right there? Pretty darn close to where we were cover that up. Now you're going to do the same thing again to fix that one, or let's merge those down. You can try using the clone stamp. Let's go right down this line and see if we can patch that up. Right there. No, it's a little sticky on the angle. See if I can get that up there. There we go. There we go. And let's get rid of that little tiny bit of junk right there on the edge. All right, it's working. You can see what we're going to do. Let's bring that up. Fix that edge. Oh, yeah. All right, there we go. So little by little, we're getting it done. So those are some things that you could do to fix those. Now, can I show you a little trick that I would do? Now that we've gotten rid of most of the other junk and stuff, and I think I'd get rid of that too. Some of the sticks in the water you could get rid of. But you know what I would actually do? To make this dramatic and also take all the effect off the background, I'd go into the filter menu and go to Camera Raw Filter. I would go to the radial filter, and I would drop a little radial right here. Now, I'm going to lower the exposure to where it looks like there's just a little bit of light falling on I'm thinking it's a lotus flower, but I could be so wrong. And let's make it a little like that. Watch what it looks like when the oval's done. You have just this little bit of light falling, and all of the other stuff is so much less distracting. See the difference? I actually think you could move that circle a little over that way. A little oval, I mean. And let's look at the difference before and after. So that's the radial filter. It's found right up here at the top of the toolbar. Right there, radial filter. And it basically lets you decide when you click on the radial tool and you click on the point, you get to choose, do you want what's outside the oval to be brighter or darker? In our case, we like it very dark. All right, so that's one little thing that we might do. Let's close that image. Okay, in this one, just real minor stuff. This is another one my wife loaned me. Let's go in here and get rid of this little imperfection. Too big a brush, make it smaller. Good, good. Boy, can you see the role that the size of the brush plays? And then I would do the same thing here. Not that this does, and this is like too bright and stuff over here. So one thing you could do is let's just get rid of the brighter leaves, right? There we go. It's kind of off to the side, but I would use the radial filter trick again, if it were me, and by the way, it is. Let's see. Grab the radial tool, pull it out large over the rose, and darken the edges quite a bit. So you have a beautifully lit rose and not much distraction in the background. All right, that's that one. This one, this is a mess. Of course, it's not in the greatest light. It's taken out and bright, but look at that hole over there. What can we do about the hole? Well, let's try a little healing brush. Not real good. Let's undo and see if we can just kind of go. It's okay. You can fix this little hole, but here's what I would probably do in this case. Let's go get the quick select tool and select this petal right here. Put it up on its own layer, rotate it all the way around, and let's use this one instead. Now, it also, the shadow's on the wrong side. We're going to have to flip horizontal. There we go. Put the shadow on that side. And then let's just cover that nasty little thing like this. Now you can see this is actually encroaching on the rest of our flower. So do this. Lower the opacity, add a layer mask. Now that you can see through to this part of the flower, just paint over that part in black. Like that. That way it appears to be under this part. And then when you're done, raise the opacity back up. And then it appears to be under. Did I miss a part? Or is that just not even there? There we go. And so you can see you're covering a multitude of sins there. And you can see there's a little discoloration here, so you might have to do something about that. And what we'd have to do is select that little area. And now I'm on the background layer, so I'm not affecting what's above it. Then let's go to levels, see if we can brighten that up to match. Let's try the highlights. There we go. Just kind of brighten it right back up. And then what I might do, because that doesn't look great there, is flatten the image, get the little healing brush here, and go right over that. And maybe this little bit here. And there we go. So that's a fix. You can see what we would need to do up here as well. Same kind of thing, just kind of fix that up. This one is another one this one's kind of a mess. Now, I really love what the water's doing around this, so I don't want to take that out. I don't want to take that out. Everything else really pretty much can go. So let's see if we can get rid of this easily. Not awesome, but not the worst I've ever seen. Let's go here. Let's see if we can get rid of this. I'm just trying to remove distracting things in the water, like these. I don't want to remove everything, but I want to remove a lot. Now I'm going to put a radial gradient on the bottom of it when I'm done. And let's get rid of this one altogether up here. This might be a little sticky. Let's see what we get. Take two. All right, now at this point, we've gotten rid of a lot of the junk. There was quite a bit of stuff there. We got rid of those, and now I would drop in maybe that radial gradient. Go to the camera raw filter, grab the radial gradient tool, drop it over this beautiful flower, and all the other stuff kind of fades away. And actually, now that I see that, I think I'd go ahead and crop the image too. Because none of that other stuff is doing us much good. Now that we simplified it, let's get rid of this corner. Let's get rid of this reflection. Let's get rid of that. And I think we're in pretty good shape. And that would be our final image. Okay, so you get the idea. All right, so there's a few things for flowers. I thought, though, you might find those important and handy and all that stuff. And you can see at this point in the game, we're doing a lot of the same kind of stuff. The radial filter was new because it helps